Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Shout out to all my subscribers, in particular my MA brothers. I was trying to wait. I'm going to wait a couple more days for people to get on board. I know people can come on here and criticize me and take up for people who support white supremacy and white supremacists. Because you know people who think they talented 10th and all that, and in this group and in that group, they don't see themselves as you. They identify more with the people who oppress the masses, if you know what I mean. So they can come on here, and I've read hundreds of comments, maybe even thousands, where people, in particular, people who didn't even watch the video, which is ignorant, or didn't even watch most of the video, which is ignorant, have come on videos and tried to criticize me for criticizing the people they fans of. But they can't get together. They can't get together. Like even in the prison setting, right? Now check this out. I've heard, literally, and it's been times where Latinos have been more loyal to me than blacks. Black people be threatening to do this to you, that to you. Now, I can't say it's like that everywhere, because I've never been in Arizona, California. I've been to Texas. It was somewhat like that, like some of them Latinos was loyal to me. Because that's just how they, a lot of them, can't say all, but a lot of them, that's just what they've been taught to respect their elders. They not, if you work in prisons, like in the Midwest, I can't say Arizona. Can't say Arizona. I hope that's the case, But in the Midwest, sometimes in Texas, they be more respectful and more loyal than some, not all. Because some black people are very respectful, very, very loyal. And that's why I will continue to judge people individually. But what I see sometimes is black people go all out to hurt and harm and steal from each other. But they won't go all out to unite and be a team. Even on the movies, they show us. They show us how to win. Remember Purge with Dimitri? How they win. The whole project came together. What about they clone Tyrone? How they win. Them dudes hated each other, but they worked together. And what happened? You see? And this is indeed what I'm talking about today. This is part 2. Shout out to Sean Breezy. He wanted a part 2 to the video I did on keeping people from getting a rise out of you. You're not going to always be successful. But just make sure when you get triggered by these people that you don't end up losing or getting in trouble. Let's talk about some of the indicators if your job is too stressful to keep. If people is acting and behaving disrespectfully, micromanaging you, showing favoritism, all that stuff, especially if you're a Libra. If you're a Libra, favoritism is going to have a negative effect on you more than the other signs and more than the other birth periods and groups. Because we hate it more because we like unity. Unity resides better in our souls. Teamwork resides better in our souls. Libras, I'm gonna be all over the place, but I'm gonna still be on top. Libras, they don't like clickiness. They don't like clicky environments. They hate favoritism. They don't like when people be trying to show off. They don't like loud mouths. A Libra will prove a point even if it sometimes involves doing something that we don't normally do. Case in point, y'all saw me showing a little money, some of my money. I don't normally do that, but they look, I mean, it was at least 10, 20 of them came on there talking about me being broke. I'm never without money. I always got some money somewhere. That's just how it is. That's how I set it up. Now, I've made financial mistakes that keep me from being richer than I am. I admit that all the time. I'm not one of these dudes. When I tell y'all what to do, I tell y'all what I know works. And sometimes it's based on what I did wrong. But the indicators of your job being too stressful to keep is, on top of the problems you have at work, you still have money problems. See, remember how I told you that, and you got to look at it like this though. Are you the reason for the money problems, or is the wage too low and it's causing money problems? Because see, the first thing you want to do is, this what you want to do. You want to put how much you make on paper, right? Then you want to put your bills on the side of that. And you want to keep track of what you spend. Like, think of the things that you buy sometimes that you don't need. And you add all of that up. Now, if what you doing occupationally does not surpass greatly the amount that you need for your bills, that you impulse buy, you should have excuse me, you should have impulse buys. That's the beauty in making money, is impulse buy. You should be able to buy stuff you don't need. Toys, drones, motorcycles, that kind of stuff. Because that's going to make you and help you enjoy life more. But if you dealing with coworkers who don't like you or you don't like them, and you just barely making it, you on food stamps because you have to be, not because you want to be. Some people buy food stamps from other people and they don't need them. I'm talking about people who need them to make it. And then you got to go to this job where these people got a problem with you. The main reasons why I quit my last, not this one, but my last full-time job that I was at for years, was because I wasn't finna get that arm water. That was one. And because they just was on complete bull crap with those evaluations, and that suspension came while the other bull crap was going on. Me getting overridden on stuff I know I was right about. Then them evaluations, people who didn't know what they was doing was getting ran over by the subjects, we'll just call them. They was getting ran over by the subjects, but yet they were getting higher evaluations than me, and I was practically training some of them. That was just bull crap. You don't, because you don't agree with who somebody votes for or how somebody thinks, you don't make it personal. That's another thing. If they making things personal against you, and you not making enough, you're not getting, like there, I was making decent money, but I wasn't getting rich. I wasn't getting rich. So getting rich, to me, getting rich is when you start seeing your money just piling up, your material possessions just improving and increasing. If that's not happening and you bumping heads, man, find you another job and start over. And if they do it there, find you another job and start over. It's okay to start over. See, that's what's wrong with people now. That's why these marriages is bad, so on and so forth, because people, they not willing to start over. With them, it's not okay to start over. And you can't be like that. You got to be willing to start over. If somebody mistreats you, they're supposed to be treating you. They're supposed to be catering to you. Or they treating other people that's on the same level as you, better than you, especially for personal reasons. Find something else. Don't understand, if you quit prematurely and you don't have nothing else, that's a sting. That's a major sting. It hurts, I'm telling you. When you start falling behind in your bills, take it from me, I know. If you quit a job without making sure to see, what happens is, and it happened to me on 2 separate occasions, I would have a side income, right? That was banging, was up there. And I'd be like, man, I'll just do this full time. And both times it worked a little while, but then it was a drop off. The first time was in Texas. I was working at Domino's. I didn't know, it was baseball season. Down there, the people who be coming to the baseball games and who be ordering for baseball game, they richer, they more generous. So I was making hundreds of dollars every day. And so I started having problems on my job. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna quit. I quit. And then things got nasty financially. Same thing up here. You're doing something on the side, I was making good money. Then something happened where it was a drop off. And I was out here all day just trying to make it. And after a while, I said, you know what? I'm going back in my field. I kept seeing them raise up the wage in my field. And after I saw a raise, I said, I'm going back. Get it. And so, in my case, the stress is worth, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the people are irrelevant in my mind because of what I'm getting. And I want to ask you, is that the case with you? Because if it is, then maybe you want to do a better job of ignoring them for a little while. And if they getting on your nerve that bad, start charting your money. Like, okay, I would advise that whatever you make per year, when you have that in cash, you could move on and do things where you're more independent. If you one of them free thinkers, you're going to have problems with these masses of people. Like certain groups, the alphabet group, other groups, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes they just don't really like or treat people the best that is not like with that, you know what I mean? So that's why I say don't talk about it at work. So me personally, my view is this, it's not me. It's not me, so I'm going to go by how they treat me. What they do, I'm not going to treat them based on what they do. That's the Most High's job. As long as what they do don't affect me. If they pleasant towards me, but they in this, hey, I'm going to be pleasant towards them. That's just how I think. That's how I think. So you got to figure out if the stress is worse sticking around. If you making $11 an hour, right? Practically any job you get is gonna pay more than that. And so let's say you in fast food, you making $11, $12 an hour, and they practically ridicule you. Man, get into security or something. Get into security, get into corrections, get into, like, find a plant close to your house and go work there. If you can't ignore them, like I was working at Burger King as a side, like it wasn't like, trust me, man, I was doing all kinds of stuff. But I was working at Burger King. And you had one guy that was training me. It was cool, you know, showing me what to do, patient with me, so on and so forth. And one woman showing me what to do, or two. An old lady, she was kind of patient with me. I mean, she was making jokes, but she was kind of patient. And then the other lady, middle-aged, she was being patient with me and was helping me a lot. But one of them managers, it got to the point where I was thinking, like, man, if I ever catch dude and he say something slick, like, and I don't like thinking like that. So me knowing that I don't like thinking like that, I'm automatically, my mind is towards moving on. So I'm there like, okay, this little job, y'all be amazed, that fast food sometimes, like that semi-monthly pay, that pay be hitting sometimes. So I'm looking at what I'm getting from the other stuff, from the businesses, from the side stuff. And then, bam, that check hit. I'm like, man, I need to keep working here a little while. But they was playing games. Like I could swear to you, I believe he switched off something that I made. And I'm looking at him like, man, what's that? I didn't make that. I'm like, dude, it's miserable. I cannot stand working with miserable people. Do not bring your freaking problems to work. Be professional, know how to talk to people. Another thing I can't stand. How you gonna come down on new people? I was talking to God about that. I'm like, anybody, if I'm new somewhere and they try to act like I'm supposed to be on the same level as them, when they knew people need to do them like that. Because I don't even do new people like that. I told the Most High, like, you gotta handle that, because I don't even do new people like that. I don't. Like, if I'm at a job for a while, or I'm doing something for a while, like business type, I don't treat new people I don't be condescending towards new people, sarcastic. I don't do that. The only time you'll see me do that is if they be acting like they on the same level when I'm trying to show them. And even then, I'll just tell them in a professional way. Like one time at the old job, it was a chick that was only there a year and a half, and she thought because a couple dudes banged her, that somehow she like something special shoes out there. And so a situation came up where a dude told me he'd smack the SHIT out of me, right? So I locked him down. Why I look up and dude standing before, I kind of jumped, put him up, like, and I got on her like, man, what is he doing on the phone? He on restriction. That dude was making threats. Well, that's how we do it. And I said, what do you mean that's how you do it? When they started doing that? I said, how long you been working here? She ain't answer. I said, how long you been working here? Because I have been gone like 3 years. And so after she gave some of them guys that was in trouble they food, she came back and wanted to question my manhood. Now this go back to what I was saying about the alphabet. She said, next time you come to me like a man and this, that. Man, it was on. I said, are you questioning my manhood? Because I knew what she was doing, see? She was alphabet. I said, you trying to question my manhood? How can a woman, well, you know, let's get off that. But the thing ended up with her storming off, going in the office, and, you know, we both got corrected by the supervisor, but I had to let her know about herself. Like, she was bending the rules. Like, how you gonna give a dude a phone call that told your coworker that he'll smack the S-H-I-T out of F his phone call? And people who in this field know what I'm talking about. Man, I don't care about your phone call. Because first of all, I'm not going to be disrespectful to the point where, and I don't be disrespectful at all. Sometimes they start talking slick stuff, I respond, but I don't be disrespectful. Like one dude tried to insult me because I wasn't going fast enough, and I don't know, he talking about mentally or my speed. I was taking my time doing something. He said, man, he's slow. I said, I ain't been in here though. You know, see, again, like I say, sometimes you gotta come back on people, but you gotta know when, where, how, who, all of that. So you gotta figure out if the stress is worth that, because people have deleted themselves because they didn't want to go back to those jobs and they didn't know how to just move on from a job that was just stressing them out. Listen, the next thing, if you need to start over, don't fear. Don't be sitting on no job that's affecting your life that way where you don't want to live no more. If it gets to that point, man, you better off taking a couple steps back. And that's what I mean by trying to figure out is this, if the stress that you're dealing with on your job is worth to continue in that particular job, at that particular field, warehouse, facility, whatever it is you're dealing with. But another thing, when it comes to people getting under your skin, getting a rise out of you, like I said, and I want to reiterate on it, you got to realize, you got to look at all people and view all people as to what they are. They're just people. They're not God. They can't put you in heaven and hell. They don't deal with you based on knowledge and wisdom. They deal with you based on their emotions, like and dislike. That's how social media is so popular. Me personally, I believe if social media would have came out in the 80s when we was kids, it wouldn't be as popular. People would have just disregarded it. They would have wrote it off. They knew what they was doing with all this stuff, these smartphones. They knew that they would create an antisocial environment and behavior, which spills over to relationships, it spills over to the workplace. It's also antisocial to try to be in a relationship with somebody who already in a relationship. That's anti-social. What's social is you respect the fact that they already in a relationship even if you like them. Because it happens sometimes. It'll be a person you like, but they already living with somebody. They already in a relationship. So you just gotta like somebody else. You gotta Take your feelings elsewhere. They with somebody else. Leave them alone. You instigating, you being antisocial when you mess with another man's wife, another woman's husband. If you're not in the group, if you're not in his harem, and you trying to deal with him, or you like he's married and you trying to deal with him, or she's married, especially she. Ain't no way y'all dudes should be banging nobody else's wife. You have no character. Now, if you don't know if she's lying, then, hey man, but that's where self-control comes in. You shouldn't be trying to get with somebody before you know. That's how people be catching stuff. So I hope that helps. This one I put it on this device so I can upload it to both channels. This is part 2 on No Matrix channel. This is just regular on the other channel. So stay tuned. Sunday sermon coming up. Few minutes. I know I've been doing it live. I'm gonna do it live again today. So stay tuned.